Hello and welcome back to Grim Survival, and I have the one, the only, We the People Prepping sitting right there. In case you don't recognize him, the link is in the description for his channel. It'll be the second link you see there. It's a WTTP, and yeah, I abbreviated it because it's a long one for the thing there. So yeah.
Takes a
So
while.
how's it going?
Go
Thank
ahead.
you for coming, and how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Been a long weekend actually. A lot
It's
going
good to
on.
have a long weekend sometimes. Makes the time go by faster. Not all the time, because I tell you, I've had a busy day, very busy day.
Yeah, all my weekends lately have been busy as can be. We had a MAG member recently, his house burnt, so we've been dealing with that.
Sounds like some work there.
Well, he's staying at my place out at the bug out location until they get their insurance and get their house fixed. So,
Are you able to see the chat while you're on the live stream or no?
no.
No? Okay.
Nope.
Well, it's okay. I'll just keep an eye on it, and if anybody has any questions when we come to that, I'll let you know. Throw them up on the screen. I can do that with this platform. But I see Native and Devout is in the house. How's it going? Gray Man Prepping, Cherokee Survival. I see Rip Curl, James the Southern Prepper, Prepper Wizard, the Ugly Prepper. Why are you the Ugly Prepper? I'm gonna have to go check that out just to judge for myself. Wolf Eyes, Joe Morgan, Melissa Dove, Mad Shad is here. How's it going, everybody? JT, thanks for coming and being a moderator. Yeah, I need your help for sure. All right, I have to give some shout outs real quick, because all the members to the what used to be the coffee club has now been renamed to the Gremlin Pack. And if anybody notices, they have little gremlin icons now. I put 4 different ones in there. It's the different tiers for the time that you've been a member. So anybody who is one of the longer members is going to have a meaner looking gremlin there. But that being said, the new members to the Gremlin Pack that I have to mention, because I do, Shelly Goodman, thank you for joining. Eric Odell, Northwoods Cheryl, Klinger Christie, Northern Girl Hobbies is a gremlin. That's really cool. Lady Catherine, Patty B, Carrie Gray, JT is also a gremlin. Yeah, I see you in there. I'm just reading them all because I don't remember if I've done it in a while. So just doing it. Rabid Coyote, LHP channel. I'm gonna have to check that out. Marie Himpinus. Yeah, I'm sorry if I just butchered your name. Probably did. And Gray Man Prepping is now a gremlin too. See, I have a thing here on the Grim Survival channel that only people with a green name are allowed to troll my channel, because we expect a higher standard from our trolls over here. So you guys keep that in mind. And while I'm at it, I'm going to throw up a commercial here, because I'm competing with Gray Man, being that he's here, who's got merch, because Gray Man's got merch. But I'm going to tell you, the Gremlin's got merch too. So I'm going to try to throw that up really quickly. I made that one today. That is our newest Gremlin merchandise. There's shirts, there's tapestries, there's a coffee mug, stickers. The sticker's really cool. I like that. I also have the Grim Survival, Gremlins Unite, and also all the same stuff in there. This one I made a long time ago. I think there's only a shirt and a sweatshirt for that one. And this one's my favorite right here. This is the knob, or licking doorknob, since 2020. And keep in mind, that's the only thing I have a mask for, is licking doorknobs. So if you want to be a doorknob licker and wear that kind of a mask, I know a couple people personally that do wear that mask, and they think it's highly funny. So yeah. I just had to give that a little bit of a plug there, because I'm competing with Gray Man and his merch now. So how's it going, Gray Man? Luis Perez, thank you for being a gremlin. That's awesome. We're going to fill the whole prepping community with gremlins. Are you a gremlin yet?
Me?
Yeah, are you a gremlin yet?
Have I joined your coffee club or gremlin club? No, not yet.
Oh, well, we got to make you an honorary gremlin for the day. There we go. Yep, Be Charming in the house. Grim's got merch. Yeah, Grim's got a lot of merch, actually. I've been doing it for quite a while. I don't advertise it that often. Link to the Teespring is in the description down below if anybody is interested in Grim merch. There we go. I got you, Gray Man. I told you I was coming for you, man. All right.
Man, I do. I love Gray Man's channel. He's quiet and just kind of laid back.
Yep. It's relaxing to watch for sure.
Soothing to go to his channel. He has that kind of voice that just calms you down a little bit.
Yep, him and Be Ready Today, both of them are very calming channels to watch for sure.
Yeah, Be Ready just gets a little too religious for my taste, but everybody has their own.
Yeah, to each their own, right? So tell us a little bit about your channel, if you don't mind.
Well, it's actually, I'm pretty new to YouTube. I came here after all my other channels got shut down on other platforms. They pulled down my Twitter, my Facebook, they pulled them all down. This is my last platform other than Rumble, and Rumble, I have too much of a problem with them. But my channel, I talk a lot about my life experiences. They might help somebody out. I've been through a lot in life. For what short life I've had, I do look a lot older than I am, but like I was telling you earlier, I lived a rough life, and it shows.
I look a lot younger than what I am. It's the coffee and the hat.
Mine's just too many years of rough living, man. I've done some pretty rough jobs, been shot a lot, stabbed, beaten, blown up, ran over. It's just one of those. I believe a lot of people they live their life like they're going to live, get out of it alive. Me, I live it like I could die 5 minutes from now, tomorrow, whatever. So I'm going to live it as much as I can.
5 minutes from now, I think that would get my live stream shut down.
I don't know. It might actually get more viewers seeing somebody die live.
I'm sure it would. We probably have a bunch of them over here just before I got kicked. Lake Fury Preppers in the house. Domestic Gangster. Hey, Domestic Gangster, when are you going to come over for a live stream? I mean, you got to come on the channel. That'll be fun. Just to announce something, because everyone else is doing it, so I'm going to do it kind of like Prepper Nation did, once a week, and I'm thinking I'm going to do it on Sundays. I'm going to open the floor here on YouTube for anybody, including all the crazy people, to pop on, but I'm only posting the link over on my Patreon because I'm just like that, and that's just a shameless plug for Patreon. Patreon doesn't have any tiers over there. It's a minimum of $1 a month for anybody who is that brave. So good luck.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people tell me they're nervous when they come on with me. I don't know why. I'm not intimidating. I know I'm not intimidating.
I'm going to do some more actual prepping videos here shortly. Once the weather warms up a little bit, I've got about a half acre of land out back that I'm going to plow up and plant, and then going to teach people how to can. I've been canning since I was wee little kid. My grandparents mainly raised me, so
I got a surprise for everybody, including you, and this is just going to be a couple of minute thing just because. So are you ready to see the surprise?
Let's have it.
All right, let's have it. There he is. There's the surprise.
Oh, Alaska.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? Are you hearing me loud and clear? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're sounding good on mine.
Better this time. How you doing? How you doing,
sir?
That
last time you were laggy.
What do we have on today there?
I just jumped prepping right there.
Who's that?
Yeah. We the people prepping. He's fairly new to YouTube, so
yeah. Hey, how you doing, man?
Nice to meet you. Break him in.
Pretty good, nice man. I've been watching his channel since I started on YouTube, man. I love your content.
Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Awesome.
So just real quick, I have to say, Kevin Grip, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Gremlin
Hello,
Bucks,
everyone.
Says. So how you doing today, big brother? I just watched your live stream not too long ago. Very good.
My voice box just recovered. Usually I have to give my voice a little time to recover after a live stream. Because you know how I like to talk.
The whole time. You got to keep sipping that coffee the whole time.
I got water here. I got water.
See, that's the problem right there. If you were drinking the coffee, you'd be able to talk for a lot longer.
I try to limit myself to a couple of cups a day. So I've been drinking up all that coffee that somebody sent me in a care package here not too long ago.
Speaking of that, We the People Prepping, sitting right there, sent me this bag of coffee, which is how he got invited on the stream. So have you ever had Double Dead coffee?
Oh,
You know, I've been sent so much coffee in the last year that I have enough coffee stocked up for like 3 years.
Well, that's actually we the people tell him about Double Dead Coffee because you convinced me. So yeah,
man, this stuff, it's like meth in a cup, really. I mean, it'll keep you going. I mean, I drive a big truck cross country, and this is my coffee cup here.
Nice.
It holds a little over a liter of coffee, and man,
Nice. Well, that'll definitely keep you awake, huh?
oh yeah, that stuff keeps me going all day long, all week long. But just stop drinking it about 4 hours before you go to bed, and you might be able to sleep for the night. Might.
That doesn't affect me. I can drink a cup of coffee right before I go to bed, and I'll sleep like a baby.
so I just got this recently new coffee cup thing. This is the lid for it. This is a Stanley thermos, obviously, but it's also a French press, so it has the net and everything in there. And it's basically a travel French press, so you can just brew your coffee right in the cup, put the lid on it, and then it has like a double-tiered lid here, so the top lid comes off, and you can drink out of it. So this is.
Oh, Grim, hey,
really
little brother, you want me to show you the awesomest coffee mug that I've seen yet?
Yeah, most certainly.
Just a second. Let me see if I can find it here. Look at this. What's this?
That's the best one ever. So
That was the most shameless plug you've ever seen, haven't
Oh
it?
yeah, you got merch. Alaska Preppers got merch.
Ah, goodness.
So me and John over at Prepper Nation right here on Grim Survival, I think sometime next week are having a coffee cup challenge. So yeah, you're definitely invited, Rudy. You got to come over and show
There
show
you
your
go.
coffee cup.
The only problem with these cups is they're not big enough. Yeah, the only problem is these cups aren't big enough. They only hold like 12 ounces or something like that.
Yeah, I got this one that was sent to me by a subscriber with that coffee. It's like chocolate coffee that came from Ireland. So that's really good.
Oh, wait
coffee.
a minute, Graham. I forgot I'm on your channel. Just a second.
Oh,
Just a second. I forgot I'm on your channel. Here we go.
oh, what are we doing? Ah,
No.
there we go.
Look at that.
Oh, tell me.
I love this thing.
What is that thing on your hat? What is that? A paintbrush? Because it looks like a paintbrush.
I don't know what it's called, but it goes on the hat. It goes on the hat. I don't know what it's called, but it is so cool.
For the hat, isn't it?
American brush.
When I first saw it, I thought it was something to like clean the dust off my keyboard or something. But this is where it goes.
Oh, Dylan Deputy, thank you for the other super chat. I appreciate that. And look at this, we got a member, Eric. I'm not going to try to say your last name, Eric, because I don't want to butcher it. So sorry about that. But thank you, Eric, for joining the club.
I see. We have a lot of AP people over here. I see JT's in the house.
Yeah, we had to make JT a mod. We needed some help.
Yeah, there's Forrest, Gray Man Prepping, Camby, Jan. Awesome.
Man, I'm just going to hire Alaska Prepper to come on the beginning of all of my live streams to say hi to everybody, because that'll be a lot.
Well, you're in good company, man. You're in good company. I see you're in good company here. That's
definitely
awesome.
Always got good company over here. I changed the member club, like you have the Ladies and Gentlemen Club, and Prepper Nation has the Coffee Club. I now have the Gremlin Pack, and I put the little Gremlin icon next to all the names now, and that's just really cool watching the little Gremlins pop up. Or it's I guess it's Mogwai, I guess that's how you say it. But anyway, it'll change to a Gremlin after a couple of months. So, yeah, that's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for sure. Coffee.
So what's going on, man? Talk to me.
Well,
what's going on in your world?
He's a truck driver, and over the road, if I'm not mistaken. So we gotta keep up with the truck drivers, because for people who don't know it, truck drivers run the country. So yeah. So
yep, I agree.
How's it going with the people? I mean, how's it been out on the road? What have you seen lately?
It's been a nightmare. All last year was a nightmare for me. I used to be an owner operator until about September. Got caught up in one of the riots, and they trashed out my truck.
Wow.
They busted out all the windows, ripped the mirrors off. I mean, they trashed it pretty good. And caused like $60,000 worth of damage to the $160,000 truck. So we're still waiting for the insurance to pay off on that.
So what happened? Were you just driving through an area that had a bunch of people like rioting, or?
We were coming out of Colorado Springs, and
Really?
yeah, there was no warning whatsoever. We turned on just to go down the road to get on the on ramp to the interstate, and just ran right into a crowd of them. I mean, they were just they started attacking my truck and everything. You know, they didn't care much for the pepper spray gel and the pew pew that got pulled out.
Yeah, you always carry a firearm.
Yeah, but that was my second attack. That was the one that destroyed the truck. The first attack was in St. Louis. I just crossed over the bridge, and I was going downtown St. Louis to the Love's truck stop over there, and I'll be damned if we didn't just get caught up in the middle of all of that. And then like 5 minutes after we got into it, they sent an emergency broadcast across my phone like 5 minutes after we were already being attacked. I'm like, a little late, could have let me know as I was coming in.
Yeah, that's one reason why I stopped going over the road, because it was just getting dangerous even when I was doing it, because I drove through St. Louis quite often, and that was when all the BLM stuff was going on, and they started blocking roads, and I seen videos of truck drivers getting pulled out of their trucks, and I always kept a Glock on me while I'm driving. I mean, I'm not shy to say it. I have it on me right now. I mean, yeah, I always had it with me no matter what state I was in, and I wouldn't leave home without it. And I recommend all truck drivers carry some form of protection, because it's getting very dangerous.
So are the roads any safer now?
It's gotten a little better now that the weather's gotten really cold. Once it warms up a little bit, once it warms up, it's going to get pretty bad. I mean, right now my biggest concern is just the weather. I've been doing a lot of Michigan runs and stuff, and Minnesota and stuff like that. And I always dread having to go through Minnesota, because I always have to go through Minneapolis, and we all know what that looked like earlier this year. But right now it's pretty quiet out there, because it's just too cold for most of these little pansies. Tell it like it is, man.
Yeah, definitely. So Lake Fury Prepper asked if you made a video of the rioting you saw while you were there.
Well, I did, but the police have it.
Ah.
They took it as evidence, and they sent a copy of it to my insurance company to show what was going on. I had it on my dash cam. Yeah. my dash cam looped every 30 minutes, so I had to save it real quick. But,
should have told the insurance company to send you the video so you could post it. But YouTube would probably just take it back down anyway. They do that.
I mean, they've taken down so many of my videos, it ain't even funny. And I don't see that, whereas a lot of them are really bad. Like that one, I was showing how to maintain your firearms in an SHTF. I was out in the woods and purposely dropped my rifle down in the mud. Picked it up, field stripped it real quick, cleaned it and everything, slapped it back together, and just to show how you need to be prepared to be able to do something like that, because you drop it in the mud, you don't want to try to fire it until you got that thing cleaned out real good.
That's a Tanaka, right?
Yeah, that's a Tanaka. Yeah, they demonetized one of my videos a long time ago, and all I did was show a BB gun.
Oh Lord!
They took it down. I think I showed it for like maybe less than 1 minute.
My You Might Be a Prepper funny videos I make. The last one I put up got deleted. At the end of that video, I had Red Skelton reciting the definition really of the Pledge of Allegiance, and that video got deleted by YouTube. I just realized.
How dare you do that, Grim?
Yeah, how dare you? Yeah, exactly. The Pledge of Allegiance of all things.
You cannot be patriotic on YouTube. Knock it off.
Obviously. Who knew? I didn't know. I mean, I just realized it today that it was deleted. I went looking for it because and while I got you here, Alaska Prepper, I been moving all my content off of Rumble because they've been censoring me and demonetizing my videos as well. And I found a new platform called Phoenix Social Video, and it's very similar to YouTube. It was started by a couple of veterans that are very patriotic, and they do live streams over there. And you can live stream on it. You can put the videos as unlisted and drop the link onto your Patreon so that you bypass YouTube completely. It's an extremely useful platform. I mean,
can you send me the link to that?
Yeah, the link's actually in the description of this video if you want to get
is it?
quicker. Yeah, I will text it to you later if you want. But yeah, I
can see it here. If it's here, I'll see it.
Yep, it's under the Find Me area of my description.
Find Me. Okay, Phoenix. I see it. All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah, I think you'll like it.
An app, though. I mean, it's a good platform. They just need an app.
Yeah, really? They don't have an app. All they have is browser options. But I mean, you can load it on your phone anyway through whatever browser your phone's using. And yeah, I just use my computer for uploads anyway. But it's a really good platform, and I'm sure they'll get an app when they.
Hey, little brother. Hey, man, I got to get going. All right.
So all right.
Thank you all later. All right.
Visiting. I appreciate you.
Take care, everyone. Yeah. Have a good rest of your weekend, man. Have a good weekend. Yeah. Thank you.
Drive safe.
Good meeting you, by the way.
Nice to meet you too.
All right. God bless, man. Bye bye.
That was fun.
Oh yeah, I love Alaska Prepper, man. He has some great content, and I love when Victor's on there with him. It's just hilarious.
I've been trying to get Victor to come on and do an exclusive live stream. Now he agreed to it not long ago, but finding the time to do it is just challenging. So I'll keep pushing him until I get the exclusive Victor interview right here on Grim Survival. That'll be fun.
I'll definitely be tuning in for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Patty B, how's it going? Thank you for being a gremlin. That's awesome. I like seeing gremlins. The gremlin pack. I hope everybody likes the name I decided on for that. I mean, I didn't need a coffee club. Everybody has a coffee club or something or another, but I thought, exclusively to the Grim Survival channel, the Gremlin pack sounded really well. I was trying to think, do gremlins come in packs? Do they come in flocks? Do they come in groups? So I just decided on pack because, to me, a pack of gremlins is similar to a pack of wolves because they're all going to try to eat you anyway, right? That's what gremlins do, right? They try to eat people or bite them.
With all the remakes they've been doing of movies, I'm surprised they haven't remade Gremlins yet, really.
I've never seen them. I've never seen the originals, so I wouldn't know the difference.
Oh man, those came out when I was a teenager. So I loved them, but that's like the Critters movies. I love the Critters movies. Those were hilarious.
Yeah,
they were so cheesy. They were funny.
There's a lot of cheesy movies coming out lately. I mean, I've really just shied away from watching anything. I don't even own a TV. Haven't in years. I don't really watch a lot of movies. Every now and then there's a few shows here and there I'll watch just on various platforms here on the computer, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, see, I don't normally watch a lot of TV myself. I mean, I got a satellite TV and my truck company provides it and everything. I think I've turned that TV on one time.
Yeah.
And that was just for a speech that Trump was giving. I wanted to see it live, But other than that, that TV's never been on. When I'm at home, I'm normally pretty busy. Once in a while, I'll get to sit down and watch a good horror movie or something. But most of the time, I'm running balls to the wall everywhere I go.
I know the feeling. Flannel Gizmo in the house. That's my favorite new troll right there. Flannel Gizmo. Forrest Ship said, who is this gentleman? This is We the People Prepping right here. His link is the second link in the description right under the Grindstone Ministries link. So please go over there, give him a sub, check him out. Make sure that you flood his channel with as many gremlins as you can. Gremlins need to multiply everywhere we go. So yeah, that would be awesome. Go flood his channel. Go say the gremlins are coming or something like that. So yeah. Yeah, Flannel Gizmo is a troll. He is. Yeah, I'm not wearing flannel just for him today. So, ha.
Oh, man. Don't knock my flannel now. I love my flannel.
I like my flannels, too. I picked up a couple of them from Costco the last time I was actually in there. It was really nice flannel shirts they have over at Costco. So, yeah, check them out.
Yeah, I have trouble finding any that are big enough in the shoulders, really.
Yeah.
Well,
Unfortunately, Teespring doesn't have flannels, because if they did, I'd make one. I would.
I'm a pretty wide guy now, so yeah.
Well, how'd that happen? Driving too many miles, right?
Yeah, they stopped letting me throw my own freight. They stopped letting me get out of the truck and walk around. Even at the truck stops. I mean, it's pretty bad. I normally get out and I walk around the perimeter of the truck stop for a good hour just to get some exercise. But here, the last year or so, security's been coming up telling me, look, we can't have you walking around out here with all the trucks moving around. You're too big of a liability, and all that kind of bullshit, telling me I got to get back in my truck. And
wow, I never had a truck stop tell me that at all. And I've never even seen security at a truck stop. That's amazing.
yeah, they're beefing up security. They're just being jackasses, really. I went into a truck stop the other day, had cops standing at the door making sure you had a damn mask on.
I'd have walked right on back out of there.
I had to. I don't carry a mask with me, and I don't wear them. So I just walked back to my truck, got in, took off, and went somewhere else. I'm like, look, I ain't gonna mess with that. I don't want to wear a mask. I got no need for a mask. I've been smoking for 30 plus years, so I got COPD, and a mask does not help.
No, it actually will hurt you if you have COPD. Dusty Data, thank you for being one of the gremlins and joining the gremlin pack. I appreciate that. There's a question here. Where did it go? From Hillbilly Homesteader 1776 says, we the people, what do you carry on your rig for preps?
Well, angry prepper ain't gonna like this, but I have a whole damn cabinet full of Spam, all different types. Because when I first, a long time ago, when I first got into trucking, I got snowed in up by Donner's Pass.
I've been, yep, I know where that's at.
They had me shut down for damn near a week, sitting there waiting for the road to come back open, and I didn't have no food in the truck. So after that, I started making sure I had food in the truck. But I've got everything from Spam to the goober peanut butter and jelly mixed together. Carry bread, a case of water under the bunk, case of soda, and then I have, of course, coffee coming out the wazoo in the truck. So I have my little coffee maker in there. I generally brew up about a gallon before I start my day.
Yeah. A gallon. You literally brew a gallon to start your day?
Oh yeah, I got to, man. When I wake up in the morning, you know how it is being a trucker. They say, oh, you got a 14-hour day, but in reality, my days generally run 20 to 22 hours.
Yeah, 16, 17 was my average as an over-the-road driver. And even as a local driver, I was averaging 12, 14 hours a day. And yeah, it'll drain you really quickly. Yeah.
So when I get up in the morning, man, the first thing I do is I grab that coffee pot, throw the coffee on, and start chugging that stuff,
Oh, yeah. What I used to keep in my truck when I was an over-the-road driver for preps was I had about 4 32 packs of water I kept under the bunk. I would keep a case of Mountain House meals. I'd keep the cabinets full of various canned goods, just various. I'd keep a couple things of peanut butter. I always had bread on hand for easy, I always had either a refrigerator or one of the plug-in 12-volt coolers to keep things cold. So I always had, cold things in there. But yeah, I always kept a lot of extra canned food. And I tell you, I had a couple of companies I worked for where I had to swap trucks constantly as a company driver. You know how that is because there's something wrong with it, just whatever reason. And I was always go to the shop and I would tell the guys, hey, I need help moving all this stuff from this truck to the other. And they're like, you can't have that much stuff. I said, yeah, come on, dude. And I'd start handing it out the door and they're like, is that it yet? I'm like, we just started. And I would just keep handing it out the door and they would just throw it all in the passenger seat of the other truck. And then I'd have to go sort it back out. It was just, a big headache. I hate swapping trucks.
The last time I had switched trucks took me about 2.5 hours to move all my stuff, and everybody's looking at me. Here I am, I'm packing all this food out of my truck, and they're like, well, it's no wonder you're so fat. I'm going, look, these are my emergency supplies. I hardly ever touch this stuff, because it is high in fat and everything, but
So that is a good point from Darkest Fire here. Says if you have COPD, you are medically exempt from wearing a mask, and all you have to do is say you're medically exempt. And if they ask what your condition is, they're breaking the law by doing so. So if you get confronted, police. Yeah.
In a lot of states now, they have made it legal to force you to wear a mask even with COPD.
Really?
But, yep.
They're
There's a
trying
lot
to
of
kill
states
people.
that.
That's what they're doing.
Oh yeah. I still refuse to wear them. You know, I've been turned away at a shipper and receiver before because I wouldn't put a mask on. I go, what the hell do I need a damn mask for? I'm not even getting out of the truck. Okay,
Yeah.
when I do get out of the truck, it's to open the doors, throw the paperwork in the back, and then back in.
Yeah,
You know?
and then you stay in the truck while you're being loaded or unloaded, pull away from the dock, close the doors, hit the security gate, and go. I mean,
because now they don't even, you know, there is no face-to-face filling out the paperwork anymore. They give me the paperwork when I come in. They slide it under the little glass, hand it to me. I sign it, slide it back under, and then when they're done, they put it in the back of the truck. I get it out of the back of the truck, close the doors, put the seal on, and I'm gone. You know?
Yeah, a lot of places were going that way even before this all happened. I had to do that several times, but I mean, there was rarely ever face-to-face anyway. They always had those glass protection screens at any of these places I went, and I mean, you're more likely to catch a virus from passing the paperwork back and forth than you are from breathing on the glass that's thick.
That's the funny thing. A lot of the places I've gone to, when I slide the paperwork back to them, they spray it down.
They're spraying the paperwork?
They're spraying it with Lysol. And I'm like, really, dude?
I can't believe they're spraying the bill of lading with Lysol. That's just insanity.
Yeah.
I mean, wear some rubber gloves if you're that worried about it.
It cracks me up so bad every time because, you know, first thing I do when I come in, they got the hand sanitizer there. So I sanitize my hands, sign their paperwork, slide it back to them. I mean, okay, you just watched me sanitize my hands. You really think there's germs? You know,
that's just insane. You always bring your own pen, I assume.
Oh yeah, I always carry my own pen.
Yep. I actually got this phone because of being a truck driver. Whenever I had to write down trailer numbers and things like that, I always started carrying the Samsung Note phones because I can just pull the pin out of there and write right on the screen and then just put the pin back in there and automatically saves it. Made things so much faster and didn't have to carry a notebook around. I didn't have to carry a pen around. So, well, the pen I always carried anyway for signing paperwork, but yeah, that phone just made everything so much easier for writing down trailer numbers, writing down, you know, whatever I needed to write down on a typical day. So yeah,
I use the little notepad on my phone, but I use swipe on my phone, so I can and I don't even have to look at my phone to swipe the numbers or words or whatever. You know, I'm just so used to it. I've been doing that since I started using a smartphone. You know, and so I don't need the pen or nothing. I know exactly where everything's at on the phones. They're all pretty much the same.
Dusty Data, fellow truck driver, said the Note 8 is what he has. I had a Note 8 also, and then I switched to a Note 10 after the 8. And yeah, they have a Note 20 now, but I have no intention to upgrade. Prepper Nerd in the house. How's it going, Prepper Nerd? I like that little gremlin next to you, Prepper Nerd. Thanks for showing up. So what do you think about what's going on right now with all the political, you know, distractions?
Oh man, if you went to my page recently, you see some pretty bad rants. I'm pretty pissed off about it myself. I mean, you know, I lived through the other two runs that this jackass made for president, you know, and you know, his first bid for president, he got like 0.4% of the vote. His second, he got like 1.6% of the vote. Now you're going to tell me he got more votes than anybody in history? Come on.
I agree. I completely agree. It's all a big scam is what it is.
And then the hoe that he's got as his vice president, I mean, nobody even in her own party even liked her. You know, so how are those two put together going to become president and vice president? It just, and then you're going to tell me what I can or can't do, can or can't say. Y'all can kiss my ass because, you know, you want to stop me from saying or doing something, you're going to have to kill me.
Oh yeah,
that's all there.
I agree. You know, Josh the Prepper, thank you for being here. Hey, we got Troll Patrol in the house now.
You know, my company recently informed me. They said, well, we're going to start vaccinating all the drivers. I go, is it mandatory? They go, well, not right now. I go, well, when it becomes mandatory, consider that my resignation.
Yep, exactly. I've been saying it for months now that truck drivers are going to be next on the list when it comes to these forced shots because, how can they not? If they're already forcing it on airline attendants in certain airlines, they're forcing it on them. You either take it or you don't have a job. And people saying, oh, they're not going to force it. They're not going to force it. They've been forcing it. They're forcing it on nursing homes. They're forcing it on airline attendants. They're forcing it on certain medical professionals in certain states. Not everybody, but in certain states, it is a requirement or you don't keep your job. That's just how that is. And I know truck drivers are going to be next because truck drivers go from one side of the country to another. They go everywhere. So how can they not if, by their logic of people traveling are the most important. So there you have it. It's going to happen.
That's something that's awful funny too. I don't know how much attention you paid to it last week, but they were talking about, making people do mandatory quarantines when they cross the borders, from state to state. Okay, so anytime I cross the state line, I got to do a 2-week quarantine. Is that what you're telling me? I'm a truck driver, so I'm going to cross the state line every time. So
every day.
You ain't gonna be getting nothing delivered.
Exactly. I mean, truck drivers, as a truck driver, I would go from North Carolina to California in a 3-day time period. How many states is that I cross every single day? That's not even possible to shut down truck drivers like that. I mean, it's not possible. Yeah. Kill the entire economy and definitely would see nothing but food shortages and shortages of absolutely everything all across the grid if they start quarantining truck drivers at state lines. You'll see it all across the grid. What I expect to happen very soon is actually medical checkpoints at all the state lines to where they actually are going to check you for the virus before they let you proceed. That's what I see coming in the near future. So I hope I'm wrong, but that's my prediction right there. Medical checkpoints.
I've been out here since this all started without a mask on, around it, all sorts of people. Never once have I contracted this virus. Okay. I've had to test for it numerous times because, I got to go in for a pulmonary test middle of the month. They rescheduled it on me. But I got to take a COVID test 3 days before I go in for my doctor's appointment. This will be like the 13th, 14th test I've taken in the last year. And every time it comes back negative. If it's so contagious and so deadly, why haven't I caught it? Why haven't I gotten sick with it? How come I ain't dead? My mother is in her 70s fighting breast cancer. Okay, she's doing chemotherapy. She recently contracted it. Said it was no worse for her than the seasonal flu, but she had tested positive for it, and my sister as well, and 2 of my brothers. All of these people are overweight. They all got a myriad of health problems, and they all wound up testing positive for it, but none of them got really bad sick over it.
Yeah.
Okay. To me, it's nothing more than a flu, really.
To me as well.
Right.
Lake Fury River says, how do I become a real gremlin? You got to click the little join button that's next to the subscribe button. And Liz Rambo, thanks for being here, says that the jab is not mandatory for airlines so far. And when I say that it has become mandatory for airlines, I don't mean on a government standard or a government level. What I mean is certain airlines are requiring their employees to do it. And if they don't, they lose their jobs. It's not like a requirement for the entire industry from the government, but it is a requirement for certain companies if you work for them, is what I meant to say by that. So.
I've got a family member that is a stewardess for Delta, and they forced her to take it. So I told her I would have just resigned, but and actually since she's took it, she's had a lot of small health problems pop up.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm not in no hurry to take it whatsoever.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of major health problems start cropping up. I mean, I've been hearing stories about it ever since they started passing it out. People have died from it. People are losing full muscle control of their body. I posted that video over on the Phoenix social video platform, actually. I've also posted it in my Discord.
Somebody was telling me today that I think it was the Moderna one is being recalled.
Oh, yeah, I seen that too. Certain people have, I think certain countries have actually stopped anybody from taking it because it was killing anybody that was elderly and anybody that had health problems. It was just outright killing them. And I think Norway was one of those countries because it was definitely Norway because they had like 55, I think was the latest number of deaths in the healthcare.
Yeah, I don't want to be a guinea pig for these people. Okay, I mean they've used me as a guinea pig for enough stuff in my life. I can do without this one. My wife would like to keep me around for a while, so I've got enough health problems. I think it'd probably kill me taking the jab.
Oh, yeah. It very well could. Liz Rambo, thank you for the super chat. Says, no, I'm saying it's not mandatory for the airline I work for. So thank you for clarifying that. So yeah, that's a good thing. I would look for it to become mandatory at some point soon because they are doing it in other airlines already. I've seen reports on mainstream media about it. So, they're going to do it for truck drivers and they're going to do it for airlines. And how can they not, by their logic that, it's being spread from all these places? And that goes back into the mask debate, I guess you could say, is how is it that this is spreading all over the place? And even this new strain that's now come from Europe, come from the UK over, and we're seeing reports of it in New York, Massachusetts, and places over on the East Coast already. People are wearing masks on these airlines as a requirement. People are wearing masks at these checkpoints as a requirement. So how exactly is everybody wearing a mask and still spreading it all over the place if the mask does anything whatsoever?
Well, think about that. Okay, I've been to Arab countries, okay, when I worked as a private security contractor. Okay, most of the people over there constantly have their face covered.
Exactly.
Okay? How is it spreading so fast over there when they've already had their face covered this whole time? Anyhow, how's it spreading just as fast there as it is anywhere else? If a mask works, I don't get that, And prior to all this, they came out with a report saying that the masks have no effect really on the flu virus. So how is it COVID any different? Oh, I got you demonetized.
Exactly. That's okay. I get demonetized all the time. That's okay. We just rely on the super chats over here. So thank everybody who's done that. The super chats and the gremlins.
Yeah, I'm not monetized on my channel, so I speak my mind freely. They'll pull a lot of my videos down, but I don't care. I'm still going to say.
Prepper, thank you for joining the Gremlin Pack. I appreciate that. I subscribed to you the other day. I'm definitely wanting to learn more about radios. I still have 3 of them sitting around me, and yeah, I carry this one everywhere. I got to put the AA batteries back into it, but they're charging currently. So yeah, I accidentally put all my batteries.
I'm not a big fan of ham radios. Now I have a base CB in the house. I have a CB in my cars and my semi and everything. The base CB I've got here at the house. I've got a kicker hooked up to it and all that. I've got a moonraker. I got a moonraker antenna. With the skip that's out there, hell, I can talk overseas on my CB.
I have a Cobra CB. It's still sitting on the next desk next to me, and a Fire Stick antenna. I don't have it wired into the house yet, but I'm looking into doing that. But yeah, CBs do have a lot longer range because they have more options. They've been around a lot longer. They have more power options, so they do have quite a bit of a longer range. But these things, you can actually find a lot more frequencies and get a lot more information from them. Yeah. So I rely on this not for communication per se as talking to somebody, but for getting information to me, because with this also has an FM radio built into it. And yeah, it's just very helpful.
I did the ham radio thing when I was younger. It got expensive. It was an expensive hobby, but now I just stick with my CBs. I got a 60-foot tower with a moonraker antenna, got linear kickers, all that, So, I mean, I can talk thousands of miles on it. I don't really have a need for the ham.
Oh, yeah. Dusty Data says truckers rock. We the people prepping. Yep, I agree. Without trucks, you would have absolutely nothing. Nothing. I mean, a lot of people just don't get that absolutely everything they own was on a truck at some point or another. Homestead Hoss is here. How's it going, Homestead Hoss?
Truckers are the most important people in America when you think about it, because without it, everything stops. Okay, but we're also the most poorly treated people across the country. I mean, come on, I had some jackass steal my valve cover caps. The little cap on the valve stems.
Yeah.
They stole
For
all
your
18
tires.
of them. That's
All
100
18 of them.
fine a piece. I got pulled into the scale, and they did it while I was in the fuel aisle. Because when I did my pre-trip that morning, all my valve stem caps were on there.
Yeah.
I went into the fuel stop, got something to eat real quick, come back out. Got about 10 miles down the road, and there was a weigh station. They pulled me in, pulled me around for inspection. 18 tires, $150 a tire. I was like,
I love weigh stations. Yeah. I accidentally bypassed several weigh stations in my time. Oops, I was in the wrong lane at the wrong time. You know how it goes. Heartland Survival, how's it going?
Yeah. They restrict the hell out of us. It's ridiculous.
I'm telling you, it's getting worse too when it comes to regulations against truck drivers and just the tiny little things that they do. I mean, if you have a light out that you don't know about on a trailer that you don't own, that you picked up and the light was working before you left, and something happens, a rock hits it, whatever, it goes out. That's I think it's $120 ticket right there just for the light being out. So yeah, it's just ridiculous what happens to truck drivers. Oh, we got company.
Yes, my wife.
Hello, wife.
This is Heather.
How's it going, Heather? I'm Grim.
It's James Grimm.
Okay.
Welcome to the live stream. We got 188 people watching you right now, so say hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you got to go, huh?
No,
Are you being called?
Just letting me know what time it is. I know what time it is.
47 Eastern time.
Yeah, it's only going on 6 here, so.
Yeah. So how much time do you got left?
Huh?
How much more time can you kill over here?
Oh, I can kill a good another, till probably 6:30 our time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's usually around my cutoff anyway, is about then, depending on, how interesting the conversation is. If anybody has any questions, please put them in all caps and I will try to get them up on the screen. I will try. Yeah, I'll try. Let's just leave it at that.
But it threw too much excess light.
Oh.
Why are you going to do a strip tease for us?
No, I'm not going to do a strip tease.
No corn on my channel.
As you can tell, she's quite a bit younger than me. Yeah.
Dusty Data says truckers love to talk. LOL. Yeah, they do. They really. That's because they're stuck in the truck all day. They don't have nobody to talk to. So,
right. And most drivers out there now don't even have CBs in their trucks.
Oh, I know. I couldn't stand driving when I got switched to a truck. It didn't have a CB jack, and the company I was driving for says I'm not allowed to install it myself or I'll get fired. And it's the ridiculous things they do. It's just, hey, Lake Fury Prepper is now a gremlin. Thank you for joining the gremlin pack. This is what I started carrying at the end of my truck driving before I got fired from my last job, and this is these are Samsung, and I just Bluetooth in my Samsung Galaxy phone, but these are Samsung Galaxy earbuds, the little bitty things. And these work for phone calls. You can listen to music or whatever on these things. They will actually read you your text whenever you get a text file. And they also act as a hearing aid. They amplify the sound when you're not talking to somebody, and I can hear a lot better when wearing them just in general. I mean, I can hear somebody talking from a room away with those things in my ears pretty well. So yeah, and they have really good noise canceling. I mean, I had these things in my ears when I was driving dump trucks, and if you've ever been in a dump truck, it's a lot louder than your standard semi truck, especially when you're driving down a gravel road or through a cornfield, which I did a lot of, or just at the job sites and everything going on, and very good noise canceling with these things. So I highly recommend them for sure.
I'm half deaf in one ear anymore because my trucks that I used to drive, that they were straight stacks, no mufflers, and you wind one of those up, especially you got the window cracked down and it starts cackling in your ear. I mean,
it's even hard to talk on the phone. You got the phone to get your window down.
I used to have those LG ones that go around your neck and has a little wire and you put in your ear, but the noise canceling on that was horrible. Nobody could ever hear me or always complain about hearing me when I was talking with those, but I never got a complaint with these. They're a lot better than those per se, I guess. And like you said, if you're having trouble hearing, you plug one of these into your ear, it acts like a hearing aid. You can crank it up with the app on your phone and it will really boost the sound. And yeah, because I have trouble hearing out of this ear, which is why I always keep the earbud in it, and I put one of these things in and I can hear normally out of both my ears then. So yeah, highly recommend them.
I'm about deaf in this ear anymore, and this one over here, back when I was younger, me and my brother got in a fight and he ruptured the eardrum.
Ouch.
So yeah, I had to have it repaired. At the time it was like $18,000 for the surgery. And basically all they do is go in, cut behind your ear, fold it forward, super glue your eardrum back together. But yeah, I mean, he's a big boy, and at the time he was like 325 pounds, solid as a brick wall.
I think he's back to that again.
And I mean, he was fast for a big man. He hit me 5 times before I even got out of the chair. That fifth hit though, man, blood shot out of my ear across the room. Yeah, I was pretty much done after that because it threw my equilibrium off. I couldn't stand up straight or nothing, So
I'm going to try to read a couple questions here. Joe Morgan said, "Is there going to be more interstate shutdowns?" Do you think so? I think so.
I believe that there will be as the weather starts to warm up. They're going to definitely be shutting down interstates.
Did you see any of the trucker strike type shutdowns when you were driving?
Well, see, the thing is, I knew there wasn't going to be no trucker strikes for the simple fact that the trucking community is not organized like it used to be when I got into it. They deregulated a lot of things, and then after the 70s, in the early 80s, they outlawed truckers being able to strike. Okay, it's actually a felony, and you can go to prison up to 10 years for going on strike as a truck driver. And
I didn't know that.
And of course, lose your CDL. They did that because they know that we have the power to shut this country down.
Oh yeah. Dusty Data says, "I took my CB out and really need a new one." Yeah, I have one sitting next to me. I think the fuse is blown. I have to get a new fuse. Hillbilly Homesteader says, "Why won't they let you have a CB?" Well, they'll let you have it. It's just they make it a lot harder for you to install it in a truck. They have to do it at their shop if they own the truck. So
they refuse to let you install it yourself, and then a lot of times you have to pay the company to have it installed.
Did you get yours out of security?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flannel Gizmo says, "My brother and dad drive log trucks. That CB chatter is nuts. What is y'all's CB names?"
I've had a few of them over the years.
I've always stuck with one.
I started out, people, when I was younger and I started out, I had blonde hair, believe it or not. And I'm a rather short guy. I'm 5'8", I was small. I was a smaller guy, but I was a lot stronger than I looked. So people just started calling me Bam Bam. And then later on, when I had my own truck, it was ungoverned. And it sounded like a demon coming around you whenever I'd come around, So then people just started calling me the Screaming Demon,
I was always called Grim because I told them to, and I wouldn't answer to anything else. So
I miss the old days of trucking. I don't like the electronic logs. I don't like the GPS being in my truck and all that. I like being able to go where I want to go without being tracked.
Yeah, that's not happening anymore. You can buy a GPS jammer. I have one in my vehicle. But yeah, I got it off of eBay, and you just plug it into the 12-volt port, and it'll block the GPS signal from going out from your truck. So, but they complain about it, and it would mess with your logs.
I'd be in my shop every week going, "All right, what the hell's wrong with this?"
Daniel Conroy says, "Why is China troops training in Canada?" And I personally don't believe that's accurate or true, Daniel, but what do you think?
There are troops training in Canada. They've been training up there for years for cold weather training. They've been training up there for like 15 years. So that's nothing to really worry about. That's a normal thing up there. If you think that the Chinese are going to come down from Canada and invade the U.S., you got to think again, because Canada's kind of like a buffer for us, and Canada relies on us, so they're not going to just let somebody come in and invade us. And Canada and Mexico both really, there are buffer zones. They depend economically on the U.S. So for them to just let somebody come rolling through their country and into ours to destroy us would be against their better benefit, So I've heard a lot of the conspiracy theories about that, but no, they've been training up there for over a decade. So that's not a planned invasion.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. Dusty Data says, I'm on my 34-hour. Are you on home time and coming back soon?
Yeah, I'm coming back out tomorrow morning.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to that, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I always hated it. That was the worst part about it, was leaving.
Oh, yeah. Especially considering I know I'm going back up to Minneapolis.
Ooh, yeah. Staying High for Life says, how do you stay awake on the road? I know how. Coffee.
A lot of caffeine, cranking the stereo up,
Is he the one who's talking about the coffee?
Yeah.
Did you talk about when you tried?
But there's I got to crank the stereo up a lot of times, roll the windows down.
This is my coffee horn.
Now, if anybody ever watches my videos, they'll notice that even when I'm sitting still at a truck stop and I'm recording these videos, they'll see me constantly looking around. Okay. My head's always on a swivel because, as a truck driver, you get people doing stupid stuff around you all the time.
Constantly.
And if I'm not 100% alert, I can kill somebody without even knowing it.
Oh, yeah.
And I could drag my trailer over the top of a car and never even know I did it.
Yep.
I've seen it happen.
Prius is nothing but a speed bump to a semi truck. So, yeah.
If that, it feels more like a pebble running over under your tire,
Yeah.
But you learn little tricks to keep you awake. Plus, I'm in so much pain anyhow while I'm driving. The pain keeps me awake.
Music kept me awake all the time. If I wasn't, if I was out of coffee or just wasn't drinking coffee that day, music would keep me awake for sure.
Well, see, I've had both of my knees replaced. So sitting for long periods of times, my knees start aching real bad. My back starts hurting, my hips. So the pain keeps me awake and keeps me alert.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Where was I? Beretta Vandy says, when you have both earbuds in, is there an echo? No, not at all. It doesn't echo at all with my earbuds. Thanks for asking. Let's see. Best deal for portable solar. Yeah, I have it sitting here, actually. You can look this up on Amazon. This is Anchor portable solar. I don't remember how much it is. Less than $100. It's 2 solar panels, has 2 USB ports. Highly recommended. I used to carry this in my semi truck as well. So.
Yeah, there's lots of options for that, really.
Tons of them.
I bought one for my brother for last Christmas. It has the battery pack, solar chargers, has lights that come with it, all sorts of accessories that you can plug into it. You can charge your phones off of it, and it's real good. And it was only like $65 on Amazon.
Oh yeah. So. Ugly Prepper says, what types of weapons do you keep in your truck? My uncle used to keep a shotgun. So, yeah. I always kept a Glock. So,
believe it or not, my main weapon in the truck now is a Bowie knife underneath my bunk. Because, a lot of times you ain't going to be able to get to a gun,
it's on my hip at all times.
Well, my Bowie knife is right there in my mattress.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's got a 12-inch blade on it.
Even when I was driving, it was on my hip. Even as a truck driver, on my hip. I never took it off my hip for the simple purposes. DOT can search a truck anytime they want, but they can't search you anytime they want.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you keep your sleeper curtains closed, they can't search your sleeper.
Really?
Okay. Yes, because that is your living quarters back there. they have to get a search warrant to search that as long as your curtains are closed. Now, if you're driving along and the curtains are open, that gives them permission. But if the curtains are closed, they can't go back there.
That's good to know. I did not know that. James the Southern Prepper asks, what is a good CB booster?
Oh, there's so many of them. I can't remember the names of half of them. It depends on really what kind of CB you're running, what you're running it in, whether it's a mobile or base. A lot of times you don't even need a booster if you got a good radio, like the one that I got in the semi. It's just a Cobra 29 LTD. I took it up, had it tuned and peaked. I'm running 2 fire sticks on it, and hell, I'll get out 75 miles on it when I talk.
Yeah. A couple fire sticks and booster will get you a long way if you have a good setup.
Oh yeah.
I got the fire stick because I was picking up things about 10 miles out just with a Cobra CB by itself and a fire stick, one of them. I mean, that's why I got the thing, just so I could talk farther when I was running dump trucks, is when I picked up that fire stick.
You just make sure that you get it tuned and peaked, and that you adjust your antennas properly, set your SWRs. You really don't need a booster in a car. Now, like a home setup, I'd use a kicker. Just all you really need to do is go in and look online. You can find that. There's some really good ones. As far as home antennas, I highly recommend the Moonraker series antennas. Those you're going to get the best distance out of. And that's even without a booster hooked up to it.
Nice. Heartland Survival says, what is a good way to harden your truck against highway riot blockades? And I would recommend just putting a ram bar on the front and don't stop. That's what my recommendation is, but go ahead.
There's really not much you can do to fortify your truck against it, except put a big thumper bumper on the front, and never slow down below 25 mile an hour through the crowd. Now, what I do is to keep them from disconnecting my trailer is I use the really thick, wide zip ties to zip tie the glad hands so that they can't take the glad hands off and lock up my trailer brakes.
Yeah, I make metal zip ties too.
As far as fortifying your truck, there's really not a lot you can do to it, especially if it's a company truck.
Well, if you're stopped at a truck stop or stop somewhere overnight, or if you can really quickly, if you come into a riot, you can take a load strap and you can wrap it around the door handles on either side and tighten it up, and they won't be able to open the doors. They'll still be able to come through the window, but they're going to have to break the glass, cut themselves getting through there. By the time they stick their head through, you get your tire thumper and you knock them right back out. So it'd be like playing a whack-a-mole. So
they're getting a 12-inch blade to the face.
Or if you want to take a 12-inch blade to their face, that would work as well. Yeah, for sure.
It used to be my wife was on the road with me, and we had our dog out there with us, scared the crap out of people. He's a Dogo Argentino. They look a lot like a pit bull. They were bred for taking down wild boar. He's a very, very muscular dog. But we were in Pennsylvania right before you go to Ohio one night at the Lowe's truck stop up there, and somebody jimmied our door open on the passenger side and opened up the door. They met him face to face, snarling, teeth bared, fur up, drooling, and then they met me naked with a Bowie knife. So I don't know which one scared them worse, but you heard them scream, "Oh shit," and slam the door. Yeah.
Well, I think that's a question for your wife behind you. Which one do you think scared them worse, him naked or the knife?
This you do not want to see naked anymore.
I would say both.
You say both?
Now, when we got together, I was 180 pounds, and now I'm 261. So
I'm 5'8" and about 160 currently. So
I wish.
Yeah, it's not hard. Just don't eat.
I don't eat.
He only eats once a day. That's it.
Well, you need your vitamins.
Generally, it's just a sandwich, real quick.
Yeah. Well, exercise and vitamin D, testosterone boosters will help. Just the more muscle mass you have, the more fat you'll burn. So, yeah.
Well, the problem is that a lot of it is actually muscle, except for the belly here.
Yeah. There you have it.
That's even getting pretty solid. You know.
Yeah, when I first started driving a truck, I went up to like 180 and I looked chunky in the face, especially because I was just eating fast food at every truck stop. On my 30-minute break, that's what I would do. I'd probably eat twice a day. I'd eat, during lunch, and I'd eat again when I shut down. But it was nothing but truck stop food. So whatever fast food was in there, or if you're going to the Pilot and they had the pizza slices or the hot meals right there, that's basically all I would eat. And it's just, that just
there's been times when I forgot to eat for 3 days.
Yeah, and then you get your butt ring back, don't you?
Yeah. Then she gets mad at me. She's like, "You need to eat something." I'm not hungry.
I drank too much coffee. I don't need to eat. Yeah.
I get too consumed in what I'm doing, and I'm trying to make as much money as possible. So
because if you're not rolling, you're not making money. As a truck,
if wheels ain't turning, I ain't earning.
Yeah, you get paid by the mile, I assume, as a company driver, like I always did, and I mean, and they scam you out of those miles. I mean, they scam you out of those miles. They pay you for the zip code, I assume.
You lose generally 40 to 50 miles every trip, just what they're skimming off of you.
Yeah.
Because they'll pay me from the city limits of Cincinnati to the city limits of Chicago, even though I had to drive all the way across Cincinnati and all the way across Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I know that feeling.
Now, see, when I was known rough, it worked a lot better. I got 75% of what the load paid, plus my fuel. Crap, I can't even think of the word now. You know what I mean? The fuel surcharge.
Yeah, fuel surcharge. I was reading comments, so sorry.
Yeah.
Dusty Data says, "Please don't open my door to my truck. I don't drive with pants on." You can get a ticket for that. You can.
I'll say I sleep naked, so when they break into my truck, they're seeing this naked. That ought to be enough to scare them.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Anybody got any more questions? I'm going to push this for about 10 more minutes because I drank too much coffee and I have to go to the bathroom. So, it's about 10 more minutes, guys. If you have any questions, please put them in all caps. All caps, everyone.
That way you're not sitting there with a pee jug? You're not sitting there with a pee jug?
I'm in the house. I don't do that in the house. I have a toilet. You only do that if you don't have a toilet. And I hardly ever did that anyway. I would just step outside and water the tires. But, that's a different story.
I don't even do I'll be driving down the road. And I ain't got time to spend 10 minutes pulling over, stopping, and taking off again. Screw it. I'll get out and piss while I'm going down the road.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I mean, you don't really have time to stop. People just don't understand how long it takes just to stop a truck to use the bathroom, just to find a place to stop the truck to use a bathroom. Because I mean, if you're driving at night, especially, you can't just pull into a rest area because they're full. And I'm talking full all the way back down the road highway. They're full all the way to one side, all the way to the other. And there is absolutely no possibility of stopping in there. If you do try to stop in there, you're blocking the road and somebody's going to get mad at you. I mean, but yeah.
And trust me, you do not want to pull off on the shoulder in the middle of the night and step between the tractor and trailer. No, I did that one night, and I did not see the cop roll up behind me. I didn't hear him walk up behind me. He touched me on the shoulder, and I turned around and pissed all over him and got locked up. Yeah. They charged me with assault on a police officer for pissing on him.
Well, he shouldn't have been standing there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Karen says Grin would just do videos in the corn. Yeah, Karen, I used to do videos of the corn. I would stop my truck in the middle of the road and run out over to the cornfield when I first started my channel and film all of the crop failure and rotten corn that was hanging out on there. And that was when I was driving from Indianapolis to Chicago every day. Those videos are still on my channel. They haven't ever deleted them. So if anybody wants to see me running around out of my semi truck to a cornfield, I've done it. It's there. Hudal says, where did you go to do security work, or where did you do security work?
Well, I was living in California at the time. A family member of mine was already involved in the business. So he brought me in. They have a training academy out there. It's about a year long. It's very intensive. It's taught by former CIA and FBI and stuff like that. Secret Service agents. Even they teach you everything from evasive driving, to how to clear a building, all that kind of stuff. But so I started that class when I was 18, graduated when I was 19, and then got a job working over in Iraq, believe it or not, as a private security contractor. Basically, you can find them. They're not a well advertised thing though. The one I went to was actually located in San Bernardino, California.
I've been there.
Now, but I'm going to tell you, it is rough that year that you're in training. It is worse than boot camp, honestly. I mean, they had me working in some nasty conditions.
If it ain't raining, you ain't training, right?
Oh, it was worse than rain. They had me up in the mountains in the snow. I mean, just it was nasty.
Oh, yeah.
I even had to learn how to tuck and roll out of a helicopter at low altitudes. So
Gray Man Prepping says Gray Man and Grim merch collaboration. Interesting. So I have an idea for that, Gray Man. I'll make a shirt that says Grim's got merch. You make a shirt that says Gray Man's got merch, and we'll just exchange shirts, and there we go.
Yeah, it's. I'll tell you that contract security is not something you want to get into if you are squeamish whatsoever. If you hesitate for a second, you're dead.
Yeah.
And you better be able to live with the consequences of having to take another life.
Yeah, because contract security does the jobs the military doesn't want to do. That's why they contract security. So you get the worst of the worst in that kind of work. So
yeah, basically you're hiring out as a mercenary.
Pretty much.
And you will wind up in a war zone. You will wind up having to defend yourself, take a life. I remember my first tour over there. Kid came at me. He couldn't have been more than 16, 17 years old, and I had to put him down. He was charging at me with AK, and he was firing it off. But it's kind of hard to run and fire, and he couldn't control it very well, so he was missing. But I had to drop him, and I still see his face every time I close my eyes. And everybody that I ever had to kill, they're etched in my memory. I wake up in the middle of the night having flashbacks, and I mean, if my wife was still in here, I could have her tell you about the one night I had a nightmare and punched through the wall in our bedroom, because I was flashing back to some of the stuff that happened. So I hear people all the time saying, "Oh, I'd love to get into that line of work," but I don't think a lot of them really realize what it entails.
Yeah, it's not worth the $60,000 in 3 months, I would assume.
No, it's. I mean, yeah, it paid great. When I finally hung up when I finally gave it up, I was making $400K a year. Yeah. But you also got to think, in my entire career, now I got shot 23 times altogether. Now, only 8 of those was actually skin penetrating bullets. The rest of them didn't penetrate my body armor. But the first 8 of them after that, I finally went out and bought body armor.
Yeah, that's a good reason. You waited till the 8th time before you bought body armor? I mean, it sounds like you were a little late.
This shit's expensive as hell, man.
When you were making $400K a year, I'm pretty sure you could afford a couple $100 body armor.
Not really. My wife at the time was spending $500K a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can see what you're saying there. Joe Morgan says, Grim, did you know Gray Man's got merch? Yeah, Joe, I've heard that actually. Believe it or not, I have heard that statement a couple of times now. So, yeah. Hoodal says you were in dangerous country, or danger country, he called it. So I would agree for sure.
But you better be pretty good at a knife fight too, because I've been stabbed 13 times. I mean, doing that job. So there is a lot of hand-to-hand combat, believe it or not.
I bet. I bet. Let's see. Please put questions in all caps. I'm going to take just a couple more questions here, and we're going to wrap this up. And I thought I seen one, but it wasn't in caps, so I'm having trouble finding where it was. It was around here somewhere, but yeah, I'm probably missing it now. Oh, well. Oh, there it is. Denise Dakin says, can you get treatment for PTSD?
Not really, because it's not a government program that you're going through. You're a private contractor. Okay, that's why they pay you as well as they do. Is you basically take on the responsibility of having to afford your own psychological help after everything's all said and done. Now they do pay for your medical as far as damage done to your body, but as far as mental, they don't have anything on that. You're on your own. It's not like the military, military, they have, the VA and all that. I don't have any benefits after I retire, so you better save up your money because you're going to need it. Trust me.
Oh yeah. So I popped a comment up on the screen here from Hoot Owl, says, tell him that thanks for serving. He is a good man. So yeah, definitely. Thank you for serving. Because really you did, because even though it's not military.
Okay. Most of the time it was my pleasure. The only times I didn't really care for it was when you'd get government officials that you had to protect, and they were basically assholes. There's no other way to put it, and they didn't ever want to listen to you. And honestly, most of the bullets I took were because of protecting people like that didn't want to listen to me.
Oh, yeah. Can you see the comment there on the screen?
Barely.
Really?
You have to read that to me. I can't see it.
Yes, sir, it's okay because it was kill or be killed, and that's not murder, so forgive yourself. And I agree, the Bible is mistranslated in most translations that says thou shalt not kill. That translation should actually say thou shalt not murder. No,
it's not murder, but the thing is you still, you feel bad because you took another person's life.
Oh, yeah.
Now I've taken life outside of work in self-defense, and that was a lot worse when I'd gotten into a fight with a friend of mine back when I was 18, and I won the fight, and I was walking away. I wasn't going to beat him while he was down and everything. He thought I was sleeping with his girlfriend. But as I started to walk away, he pulled a gun, and I heard the hammer pull back, and when I woke up, he was dead, and I was being arrested, and I didn't know what the hell had happened because I just kind of blacked out over it. And luckily, there was about 30 people that was watching the fight, and they seen him pull the gun after I turned my back, so they declared it self-defense. But, I still wound up, I closed my eyes, and I still see his face. We were best friends for 10, 15 years. We grew up together.
That's a sad story, man. Sorry about that. Yeah, people just lose their minds over things that.
Over a woman. I love my wife and everything, but if she's going to fuck around on me, excuse the language. Hey, okay, I'm not going to kill somebody over it. I'm just going to pack my shit and go.
Exactly.
It's not worth it. When I was 13, I was living out in Reseda, California. And actually, I'll tell you my first experience with racism, Jack Squat about racism. I was 8 years old, and I made friends with this little black girl down the street, went to her house, and her parents turned me away, calling me everything but a white man, called me a white devil and all that kind of stuff. I didn't see skin color. I'm a kid, but when I was 13, a friend of mine, he was a black kid out in Reseda, California. His friends, his homeboys from his neighborhood didn't like him hanging out with a white boy. So they tried to kill me, but he stepped in front of me and got shot. And long story short, he died in my arms. And I went to his house to let his mom know what had happened, and they tried to kill me. You know?
Wow.
I mean, he purposely stepped in front of the bullet for me to save my life, and then his family just turned on me because I brought them the news. You know, but you know, people say that white people are racist. I have nothing against anybody of any color. I'll be friends with anybody. You know, it don't matter to me. But racism goes two ways. You know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've been discriminated
for us as
against.
a people to, you know, let go of those petty, ignorant thoughts that we have in our head of racism and come together as a people, no matter what color we are, no matter what our religious beliefs are, no matter what anybody thinks about what politician you voted for, what sports team you voted for, what state you live in, what country you live in. People have to come together as a people if we want to have any hope of defeating this new world order that they're pushing on us and keep ourselves free. We have to let go of this BS and come together. It doesn't matter what you look like. It only matters what you feel. And we all feel the same way when it comes to freedom, unless you're, you know, a crazy person from the left. But yeah, beside all that, yeah, you get what I'm saying.
That's why they started dumbing everybody down in the school system, was so that it would make it easier to divide us. I have a daughter that's 15 right now. Okay, she just went into high school this year, and when she graduated the 8th grade, I had asked her. I was like, "Okay, how did you do on your Constitution test?" She looks at me with this puzzled look, and she's like, "What do you mean Constitution test?" I was like, "It was mandatory when I was growing up that in order to go from junior high to high school, which is 8th to 9th grade, you had to take a Constitution test."
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And she's like, no, we do social studies now. We don't do American history. I'm like, oh. Say they're not teaching their kids what their constitutional rights are anymore, because it makes it easier to take them away.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't know what you have, you know, I mean,
posted on December 8th, Washington State was trying to pass a bill saying that kids in schools could now make their own decisions, or the decisions could be made for them when it comes to having abortions, when it comes to taking shots like vax, and, you know, various other things that they're trying to push on these kids in these school systems right now, which is yet another reason my kids will go to a public school system over my cold, dead body and not 1 minute before then. So, yeah.
Yeah. The school systems are a joke, really. I mean, and
they're indoctrination centers. That's all they are.
My daughter, I tried to help her with her homework, and you know, I did things the old school way, where it only took up like that much room on the paper, you know, and you know, I showed her how to do that. She started doing it the way I told her how to do it. She went to school, turned in the paperwork, and all of her answers were correct, but they failed her on that because she didn't do it the way that they wanted it done with this new math bullshit.
Yeah, Obama math. I know exactly how that goes, and yeah, no thank you. No thank you. Well, all right, I'm going to wrap this up because I do have to get going, so I do appreciate you being here.
No problem, man. I enjoyed myself here.
It's about time for my dinner anyway, too, so yeah, I'm getting hungry. Yes, my kids do it online homeschooling, and I'm planning on doing a review of the program they're using on a video here coming up really soon. So yeah, it'd be a very good topic, I think, for what type of homeschooling we do, because it's a big question I get quite often. So yeah.
Yeah, the homeschooling I wish I'd had time for, but you know.
Hey, it does it itself now with the online schooling. All you really have to do is somebody come by every 10 minutes or so and just make sure they're actually doing it, because the computer can actually teach them everything. They have videos pop up. You just monitor what they're being taught so that they're not being taught something crazy, and make sure you add the extra things you want to add to it, like the Constitution. So yeah.
Well, most of my kids are out of school now. I got the one that's still left in school, and I see her every weekend when I'm home, and I teach her the real parts of education, not with the bullshit they're teaching her in school, And so, and I actually made her take a Constitution test.
There you go. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to read this. Cherokee Survival says Obama math is 2 times 2 equals 60. Yeah, I guess.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we the people prepping, thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate you being here. Link for your channel is in the description. So anybody wants to check out We the People, please click the link in the description. It's been floating through the chat here occasionally also. So go over and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you tell him the gremlins are coming or something to that effect. And,
I've had a few show up. I've had a few show up and say, gremlins are here.
That's awesome. We need as many gremlins as we can to go over there and flood, and yeah, just see you guys over there, because I'll be over there, and as soon as we have the ability, we'll get you doing live streams over there, because that'll be pretty awesome. You can show us how crazy it is in the truck stop that you're parked at any given time. So yeah, that would be fun. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call it right here. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. God bless. Have a good night.
God bless.